The massive space station called Nexus Prime floated in the darkness between three different solar systems. It was built long ago to be a meeting place where different alien races could talk without fighting. Today, the station would host the most important meeting in galactic history. Ships from all over the galaxy had come to this place. Big ships, small ships, and ships that looked like nothing humans had ever seen before. Each ship carried representatives from the Galactic Dominion, the empire that ruled most of the known galaxy. For 3 years now, these aliens had been trying to solve what they called the human problem. Inside the main meeting hall, 47 different alien species sat in special chairs made for their different bodies. Some aliens were tall and thin like trees. Others were short and round like rocks. Some had many arms, some had no arms at all. Some breathed air, others breathed strange gases that humans would find deadly. At the center of the Great Hall sat the most important aliens in the galaxy. Chancellor Zeth Kalar was their leader. His body was made of living crystal that changed colors when he was thinking hard. Next to him sat General Vex Tai, a creature that looked like a giant bug with 6 arms and hundreds of eyes. Dr. Yashara floated in a tank of blue liquid, her tentacles moving slowly as she watched everything with her big, round eyes. These 3 aliens had conquered hundreds of worlds. They had defeated thousands of different species. They had built an empire that stretched across half the galaxy, but for 3 years, they had been fighting a war against humans, and they could not understand why they were losing. The humans were supposed to be easy to defeat. They came from a small world called Earth, in a part of the galaxy that most aliens ignored. They had only 23 colonies on different planets. Their technology was not as advanced as the Dominion's technology. Their ships were smaller and slower than alien ships. By every rule the aliens knew about war, the humans should have surrendered after the first attack. But the humans did not surrender. Instead, they fought harder. They attacked alien ships in places where no human ships should be. They rescued prisoners from heavily guarded alien bases. They destroyed alien supply lines that were supposed to be secret. Worst of all, they helped other alien species escape from the Dominion's control. The great doors of the meeting hall opened with a soft hissing sound. Every alien in the room turned to look. A single human woman walked into the hall. She was small compared to most of the aliens around her. She had dark hair pulled back from her face and wore a simple black suit that looked very plain next to the colorful clothes and strange bodies of the aliens. This was Ambassador Elena Vasquez, the only human representative at the meeting. She walked calmly across the huge floor, her shoes making soft clicking sounds on the smooth metal surface. She did not look afraid, even though she was surrounded by aliens who could order her death with a single word. Elena reached her chair and sat down. The chair was built for humans, which surprised her a little. The aliens had done their research. She placed her hands on the table and looked around the room. Every alien was staring at her. Some looked curious. Some looked angry. Some looked hungry. Chancellor Zeth Kalar's crystal body flashed bright blue as he began to speak. His voice came from speakers built into the walls because his species did not have mouths like humans did. "Human ambassador," the Chancellor said, "you have been brought here to end this unnecessary war. The Galactic Dominion has rules. All species must follow these rules. Your species has chosen not to follow our rules." Elena said nothing. She simply nodded once to show she was listening. The Chancellor continued, "Your species has interfered with Dominion trade routes. You have attacked Dominion ships. You have helped slave species escape from their proper owners. You have refused to pay taxes to the Dominion government. These actions must stop." Giant screens appeared in the air above the meeting table. The screens showed pictures of human colonies on different planets. Elena could see houses, schools, farms, and spaceports. She could see humans working in gardens, children playing in streets, and families eating dinner together. "We know about all of your colonies," General Vex Tai said. His voice sounded like metal scraping against metal. 23 worlds. 14 million humans total. We know how many ships you have. We know how many weapons you have. We know everything about your military strength. The screens changed to show alien battleships floating above human colonies. The ships were huge, dark, and covered with weapons. Each ship could destroy a human city in minutes. This is your choice, human, the Chancellor said. Your species will join the Galactic Dominion as a subject race. You will follow our laws. You will pay our taxes. You will stop interfering with our business. If you agree to this, your people can live. If you refuse, we will destroy all 23 of your colonies. Every human, man, woman, and child will die. Elena looked at the screens showing the alien ships above human worlds. She looked at the pictures of human families going about their daily lives. Not knowing that death floated in the sky above them, she saw children playing games that she had played when she was young. She saw old people sitting in gardens that reminded her of her grandmother's house. Then Elena stood up. Every alien in the room became very quiet. Even the air recycling system seemed to stop making noise. Elena looked directly at Chancellor Zethkalar's crystal face and spoke in a clear, calm voice that carried across the entire hall. You attacked our homeland. For a moment, nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Nobody seemed to breathe. Then the room exploded into noise. Aliens began talking all at once in dozens of different languages. Some stood up from their chairs. Others waved tentacles or claws in the air. Dr. Yashara's tank bubbled violently as she tried to understand what the human had said. Chancellor Zethkalar's crystal body flashed bright red, then yellow, then white. General Vextai's hundreds of eyes all focused on Elena at the same time. Impossible, the general said. Our intelligence reports show that your home planet called Earth has not been attacked. We have been very careful to leave your homeworld alone. This always makes species surrender faster. Elena smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was the kind of smile that made every alien in the room suddenly feel cold. That, she said softly, is where you made your biggest mistake. The noise in the meeting hall slowly died down as the alien delegates tried to understand what Elena had said. Chancellor Zethkalar's crystal body was flashing different colors very quickly, which meant he was thinking hard and getting confused. Ambassador Vasquez, the Chancellor said, his voice coming through the speakers with a strange crackling sound. Please explain your statement. Our intelligence reports are very clear. Earth, your home planet, has not been attacked by any Dominion forces. We have specifically avoided targeting your homeworld. Elena remained standing. She looked around the room at all the different alien faces staring at her. Some of the aliens looked confused. Others looked worried. A few looked angry that a human would dare speak to them this way. Your intelligence reports, Elena said slowly, are absolutely correct. Earth has not been attacked. Not a single Dominion ship has come anywhere near our solar system. Dr. Yashara's tentacles moved faster in her blue liquid tank. Her big round eyes focused on Elena. Then what do you mean when you say we attacked your homeland? Are you trying to lie to this council? Elena shook her head. I'm not lying. I'm telling you exactly what happened. But you don't understand what the word homeland means to humans. General Vextai clicked his mandibles together, making a sound like breaking glass. All species have one homeworld, the planet where they first evolved. For humans, this is Earth. It is simple biology and psychology. Every species we have conquered follows the same pattern. The general activated his own holographic display. Images appeared in the air showing dozens of different alien homeworlds. Elena could see beautiful planets with strange colors and impossible landscapes. Some had purple oceans. Some had gold forests. Some had floating islands in pink skies. When we attack a species' homeworld, the general continued, they surrender immediately. They cannot bear to see their birth planet destroyed. This psychological response is universal among all intelligent species. It is the foundation of our conquest strategy. Elena listened to the general's explanation with a calm expression on her face. When he finished, she nodded thoughtfully. General Vextai, she said, you are absolutely right. Every species you have conquered before has followed that exact pattern. But you made a very dangerous assumption. What assumption? Chancellor Zethkalar asked. His crystal body had stopped changing colors and was now glowing a steady orange, which meant he was becoming worried. Elena walked slowly around her chair, her hands clasped behind her back. As she moved, Every alien in the room followed her with their eyes, tentacles, sensor stalks, or whatever they used to see. You assumed, Elena said, that humans work the same way as all the other species you've conquered. You assumed that we only consider one planet to be our home. You assumed that we would surrender if you threatened to destroy our colonies because, surely, they're just frontier outposts that we don't really care about. She stopped walking and looked directly at the general. You thought you were being clever. Attack the unimportant colonies first. Show us how powerful you are, and then we would surrender to protect Earth. Dr. Yishira's tentacles were moving very fast now. Yes, exactly. This strategy has never failed. Species always value their homeworld above all other considerations. Colonial settlements are considered expendable. Elena's smile became wider, and somehow this made the aliens even more uncomfortable. Dr. Yishara, Elena said, your species evolved on a water world, didn't you? You've never lived anywhere except in oceans or artificial tanks filled with water from your homeworld. That is correct, Dr. Yishara replied, sounding puzzled. Elena turned to Chancellor Zeth Kalar. Chancellor, your species are living crystals that grow in the specific mineral caves of your birth planet. You can't survive anywhere else without artificial support systems. This is also correct, the Chancellor said slowly. But I do not understand the relevance of these facts. Elena turned to face the entire assembly. Every species in this room is the same. You can only live comfortably on your homeworld or in artificial environments that copy your homeworld's conditions. You never really leave home. You just build little pieces of home in other places. She activated her own holographic display. The images showed human colonies on different planets. But these were not the same pictures the aliens had been showing. These images showed humans doing something remarkable. On a planet with red soil and 2 purple suns, human children were building snowmen out of the local sand. On a world with thick jungle and floating islands, humans were having a picnic on a hilltop, while strange blue birds flew overhead. On a planet with crystal formations and pink skies, an elderly human woman was teaching young human children how to plant earth vegetables in alien soil. Humans, Elena said softly, are different. We don't just live on other planets. We make those planets into new homes. The room became very quiet again. Elena could hear the soft humming of the space station's life support systems. When a human child is born on Kepler 442b, Elena continued, that planet becomes their home, not Earth. They've never seen Earth. They might never visit Earth. Kepler 442b is where they took their first steps. It's where they learned to walk. It's where they made friends and fell in love and got married and had their own children. More images appeared in Elena's display. Humans of all ages working together to build cities on alien worlds. Humans celebrating holidays under strange stars. Human families gathering around dinner tables, while alien moons shone through their windows. When you attacked Kepler 442b, Elena said, her voice growing colder, you didn't attack one of our frontier outposts. You attacked the home of 3 million humans. You killed people in their own bedrooms. You destroyed schools where children were learning to read. You burned down parks where families went for picnics. Chancellor Zeth Kalar's crystal body began flashing red warning colors. But these are just colonies. Settlements. Outposts. Elena shook her head. No, Chancellor. These are our homes. All of them. Every single world where humans live becomes a human homeworld, and you just declared war on 23 human homeworlds all at once. The aliens in the room began to understand what Elena was saying, and the understanding made them very afraid. Elena could see the fear growing in the aliens' eyes, tentacles, and sensor organs. The great meeting hall that had seemed so imposing when she first entered now felt smaller somehow. The aliens who had been so confident just minutes ago were now shifting uncomfortably in their chairs. Let me tell you exactly what you did, Elena said, her voice carrying clearly across the silent hall. You attacked Kepler 442b on a Tuesday morning. It was spring there. Human children were walking to school, carrying backpacks and lunchboxes. Parents were kissing their children goodbye at front doors, just like human parents have done for thousands of years. She activated new images in her holographic display. The pictures showed a human colony before the attack. Streets lined with houses that had small gardens in front. Children playing in parks, Elderly humans sitting on porches, watching the world go by under an alien sun. Your ships appeared in the sky at 8:47 local time, Elena continued. The children looked up and pointed at your ships because they thought they were pretty. Some of them waved. Human children wave at everything that's new and interesting. General Vextai's compound eyes were all focused on Elena now. His mandibles clicked nervously. We followed standard pacification protocol. Quick, clean elimination of resistance forces. Elena's expression grew colder. Quick and clean? General, let me tell you what your quick and clean attack looked like from the ground. The holographic display changed to show the same colony during the attack. The peaceful streets were now filled with fire and smoke. Houses that had been homes just minutes before were now burning rubble. Your plasma cannons hit the elementary school first, Elena said. It was a small building, painted bright yellow, because the colonists thought it would make the children happy. There were 237 children inside, ages 5 to 11. They were in their classrooms, learning about the local ecosystem. The silence in the hall was so complete that Elena could hear individual aliens breathing their various gases and liquids. The school was gone in 3 seconds, Elena continued. But the attack didn't stop there. Your ships moved through the entire colony, destroying every building, every home, every place where humans had built something beautiful. Dr. Yashara's tentacles had stopped moving entirely. The casualties were within acceptable parameters for a pacification operation. The Markle first. The Markle first. Elena turned to look at the floating alien scientist. Casualties? Dr. Yashara? You killed Mrs. Chen, who was 94 years old and spent every morning teaching local alien birds to eat from her hands. You killed the Petrov family while they were having breakfast together. You killed teenagers who were planning to go to a dance that weekend. More images appeared. Human faces. Young and old, men and women and children. All of them smiling in the pictures. All of them taken before the attack. Elena let the aliens look at each face for several seconds before moving to the next one. You want to know about casualties? Elena asked. Maria Santos was 8 years old. She collected pretty rocks and wanted to be a geologist. David Kim was 16 and wrote poetry about the way the two suns looked at sunset. Sarah Johnson was 34 and pregnant with her first child. She and her husband had just finished painting the baby's room. Chancellor Zethkaller's crystal body was now glowing very dimly. These are individuals. You do not usually think about individuals, Elena finished for him. You think about numbers, population statistics, military assets, resistance potential. You've been conquering species for so long that you forgot that every number represents someone's life. Elena paused her holographic display on the image of a small human cemetery. The graves were marked with simple stone markers, each one carved with a name and dates. This is the colony cemetery on Kepler 442b, she said. Human colonists buried their loved ones here. Grandparents who lived long enough to see their grandchildren born under an alien sky. Young adults who died in accidents while building the colony. Children who got sick despite all our medical technology. She zoomed in on individual grave markers. Thomas Anderson died age 78. Beloved grandfather and teacher. Linda Foster died age 26. Brilliant engineer and loving daughter. Baby Michael Torres died age 3 months. Taken too soon, but never forgotten. Elena's voice became very quiet, but somehow every alien in the room could hear every word clearly. When you attacked Kepler 442b, you didn't just kill the people who were alive. You destroyed the graves where their families are buried. You turned their cemetery into a crater filled with radioactive glass. General Vextai made a sound like metal grinding against stone. We did not know about the significance of. You didn't know, Elena agreed. You didn't know that humans visit the graves of their loved ones to remember them. You didn't know that human children bring flowers to their grandparents' graves and tell them about their day at school. You didn't know that destroying a human cemetery is one of the most horrible things you can do to our species. Elena deactivated the holographic display and stood in silence for a moment. letting the weight of her words settle over the assembled aliens. You attacked Ross 128B on a Saturday, she continued. It was someone's wedding day. Jenny Morrison and Alex Chen had been planning their wedding for 2 years. They sent invitations to relatives on 6 different planets. Jenny's dress was made from silk that her grandmother had brought from Earth 50 years ago. The aliens were completely silent now. Some of them looked like they wanted to hide or leave the room, but none of them moved. Your attack came right in the middle of the wedding ceremony, Elena said. The bride and groom were just about to kiss when your ships opened fire. 73 wedding guests died in the first 30 seconds. People who had traveled across the galaxy to celebrate love and family and hope. Elena walked closer to the central table where the most important aliens were sitting. You want to know why humans have been fighting you for 3 years, instead of surrendering? It's because every human in the galaxy knows that you didn't just attack our colonies. She leaned forward, placing her hands on the table and looking directly into Chancellor Zeth Kalar's crystal face. You attacked our neighbors. You killed our children. You destroyed our schools and our homes and our churches and our graves. You took away places where humans laughed and learned and loved and remembered. Elena straightened up and looked around the room at all the alien delegates. You didn't attack military targets or strategic assets, she said. You attacked our hearts. The atmosphere in the meeting hall had completely changed. What started as a confident demand for human surrender had become something much more uncomfortable. The alien delegates were no longer sitting straight in their chairs. Many were hunched over or curled up in ways that suggested they were deeply disturbed by what they had heard. Chancellor Zeth Kalar's crystal body had dimmed to barely a glow. When he spoke, his voice came through the speakers much more quietly than before. Ambassador Vasquez, he said slowly. We did not understand the cultural significance of these targets. Our conquest protocols are based on standard military doctrine. We target population centers to demonstrate overwhelming force and encourage quick surrender. Elena nodded. I know, Chancellor. You've been using the same strategy for thousands of years. It has worked on every species you've encountered before us. But that's exactly the problem. General Vextai clicked his mandibles nervously. What do you mean? The problem? Elena activated her holographic display again. But this time, the images were different. Instead of showing peaceful colonies or devastating attacks, the display showed human ships. Lots of human ships. More ships than the aliens had expected humans to have. General, Elena said, how many human military vessels did your intelligence services think we possessed? The general consulted a datapad with several of his arms, while keeping his other arms ready for defensive action. Our estimates indicated approximately 400 combat-capable ships across all human colonies. This number was confirmed by multiple intelligence sources. Elena smiled. And once again her smile made the aliens feel cold. Your intelligence sources were absolutely correct. 3 years ago, humans did have exactly 400 military ships. She gestured to the holographic display, which now showed hundreds of ship designs. But you made an interesting assumption about human nature. You assumed that only official military personnel would fight in a war. Dr. Yashara's tentacles began moving faster in her tank. Of course, only military personnel fight wars. Civilian populations require protection and are not trained for combat operations. This is universal behavior among intelligent species. Universal among the species you've conquered, Elena corrected. But humans don't work that way. Let me tell you what happened after you attacked Kepler 442b. The holographic display changed to show a human space dock. Elena could see civilian ships being modified with weapons and armor. Cargo haulers were being fitted with missile launchers. Passenger liners were being converted into troop transports. Even small personal ships were being armed with whatever weapons humans could find. Captain Sarah Mitchell owned a cargo ship called the Lucky Star, Elena continued. She used it to transport farming equipment between human colonies. It was a peaceful ship that had never carried a weapon of any kind. Captain Mitchell had 2 children who were going to school on Kepler 442b. Elena paused to let that information sink in. When Captain Mitchell found out that your attack had killed her children, she sold everything she owned to buy weapons for her cargo ship. She spent her life savings turning a peaceful transport vessel into a warship. Then she started hunting your supply convoys. The display showed the Lucky Star attacking alien ships. The converted cargo vessel was much smaller than the alien warships, but it was fast and hard to detect. Captain Mitchell wasn't alone, Elena continued. Dr. James Park owned a medical transport ship. After you destroyed the hospital where his wife worked, he turned his medical ship into a rescue vessel. He's been attacking your prison ships and freeing captured humans and aliens. More ships appeared in the display. Each one had been a civilian vessel before being converted for war. The Grandmother's Garden was a passenger liner that took human families on vacation trips between colonies. After the attacks, the crew turned it into a mobile base for refugee operations. The Morning Coffee was a small personal yacht. Now it's a spy ship that has been gathering intelligence on your military installations. General Vextai was staring at the display with all of his compound eyes. This is impossible. Civilian populations do not spontaneously militarize. They seek protection from their governments and military forces. Elena shook her head. General, that's not how humans work. When you attacked our homes, you didn't create a refugee crisis. You created an army. The display changed to show communication logs, thousands and thousands of messages between human ships, colonies, and individuals. These are the messages that humans have been sending to each other since your attacks began, Elena said. Read them. The aliens could see text scrolling across the display in human languages, with translation appearing below. My sister lived on Kepler 442b. I'm converting my mining ship to carry missiles. Where should I bring it? Lost my parents on Ross 128b. Have engineering skills and want to help build weapons. Who needs me? My grandson was killed in the Proxima Centauri attack. I'm 70 years old, and I want to fight. What can I do? I'm a teacher, not a soldier, but I can pilot a ship. Give me something to fly and point me at the enemy. The messages kept scrolling, hundreds of them, thousands of them, all from ordinary humans who wanted to fight. Elena let the aliens read the messages for several minutes before she continued speaking. You see, the Galactic Dominion has always fought wars against governments and militaries. When you defeated a species' official forces, the civilian population would surrender because they had no way to continue fighting. She gestured around the room at all the alien delegates. Every species in this room followed the same pattern. Your governments made the decision to surrender, and your people accepted that decision because they trusted their leaders to protect them. Elena's voice became harder. But humans don't just fight for our governments. We fight for each other. And when you killed our families, you made every single human in the galaxy into a potential enemy. Chancellor Zethkalar's crystal body flashed weak yellow lights. But surely this cannot be sustained. Civilian vessels cannot compete with military warships. Untrained personnel cannot match professional soldiers. Elena's smile became wider and more dangerous. Chancellor, that's where you're making your second big mistake. You're assuming that the ships and people you've been fighting are untrained civilians. The holographic display changed again. This time it showed human military records and personnel files. Captain Sarah Mitchell, owner of the cargo ship Lucky Star. She served 20 years in the human space navy before she became a civilian cargo hauler. Dr. James Park? He was a combat medic in 3 different wars before he became a civilian doctor. More personnel files appeared. Elena could see the aliens reading the military service records with growing alarm. Humans don't just retire from military service and forget everything they learned, Elena explained. We carry our training and experience with us into civilian life. When you attacked our homes, you weren't just facing a few hundred military ships. You were facing millions of humans who remember how to fight. Elena deactivated the holographic display and looked directly at General Vextai. General, you wanted to know why your supply convoys keep disappearing and why your fleets are being destroyed by forces that shouldn't exist? It's because you're not fighting the human military anymore. You're fighting an entire species that has decided you need to be stopped. The meeting hall was now completely silent, except for the soft mechanical sounds of the space station's life support systems. Every alien delegate was staring at Elena with expressions that ranged from fear to confusion to something that might have been respect. Elena walked slowly around the central table, her footsteps echoing in the vast space. As she moved, she could feel the weight of hundreds of alien eyes following her every movement. You've been wondering, Elena said softly, how humans keep appearing in places where we shouldn't be. How we know about your secret military bases. How we always seem to be one step ahead of your strategies. She stopped walking and looked up at the ceiling of the meeting hall, where stars were visible through transparent sections. Look out there, she said. Look at all those stars. How many do you think have human colonies orbiting around them? Chancellor Zethkalar's crystal body flickered weakly. Our intelligence indicates 23 human colony worlds. Elena laughed, and the sound echoed strangely in the hall. Chancellor, your intelligence is absolutely correct about the official human colonies. The ones with governments and military bases and communication arrays that show up on galactic databases. She activated her holographic display one final time. The image that appeared made every alien in the room gasp or make whatever sound their species made when they were shocked. The display showed a map of the galaxy. Instead of 23 small points of light marking human colonies, there were thousands of points scattered throughout the galactic disk. Human settlements existed in star systems that the Dominion didn't even know about. Humans have been traveling through space for over 500 years, Elena explained. We didn't just build 23 official colonies. We built thousands of small settlements, research stations, mining outposts, and exploration bases. She zoomed in on different sections of the galaxy map. Each zoom revealed more human settlements, like stars becoming visible as darkness fell. Most of these settlements are small, maybe a few hundred people, maybe just a few dozen. Some are just scientific research stations with a handful of researchers. Others are mining operations or deep space listening posts. General Vextai was clicking his mandibles rapidly, which Elena had learned meant he was becoming very agitated. But these do not appear in any galactic databases. How is this possible? Elena smiled. General, humans learned a long time ago that it's sometimes better to be invisible. We don't report every little outpost to galactic authorities because we didn't want to bother anyone. Dr. Yishara's tentacles were moving so fast that the blue liquid in her tank was creating small whirlpools. This is a violation of Dominion expansion regulations. All colonies must be registered and approved. Dr. Yishara, Elena said patiently. Most of these settlements were established before the Dominion even knew humans existed. We've been quietly spreading through the galaxy for centuries, exploring and learning, and building small homes wherever we found interesting places to live. The implications of this revelation were beginning to dawn on the alien delegates. Elena could see fear growing in their various eyes and sensor organs. You want to know how Captain Mitchell knew where to find your supply convoys? Elena asked. There's a small human research station in the Zeta Reticuli system. Just 12 people studying local stellar phenomena. They've been watching your ships pass by for 3 years, recording everything. She pointed to another section of the galaxy map. The mining operation in the Vega system? 47 humans who have been extracting rare minerals from asteroids for 15 years. They've been monitoring your communications and learning your military codes. Elena walked closer to the central table where the most important aliens were sitting. Every time you move ships through space, there's a chance that somewhere in the darkness, human eyes are watching. Every time you send encrypted messages, there's a chance that humans are listening. Chancellor Zethkalar's voice came through the speakers as barely a whisper. How many humans are there really? Elena consulted a data pad. Official Dominion records show 14 million humans in 23 colonies. But if you count all the small settlements, research stations, mining operations, exploration ships, and scientific expeditions, she paused for effect. There are approximately 230 million humans spread across 4,000 star systems throughout the galaxy. The silence that followed this statement was so complete that Elena wondered if the meeting hall's life support systems had stopped working. General Vextai finally broke the silence. 200. But that would mean... That would mean, Elena finished, that humans have been living next door to most of your important worlds for decades. Watching, learning, waiting. Elena activated a new section of her holographic display. This time, it showed human settlements that were very close to major Dominion worlds. There's a human scientific station 15 light-years from the Dominion capital world, she said casually. The researchers there have been studying your star's solar patterns for 30 years. They know everything about your planet's weather, your agricultural cycles, and your energy production systems. She pointed to another location. This human mining operation has been extracting asteroids just outside the Altair system for 25 years. The Altair system is where you build most of your warships, isn't it, General? General Vextai's compound eyes were all focused on Elena now, and she could see fear in every one of them. The researchers and miners were never spies, Elena continued. They were just humans doing their jobs, living their lives, and paying attention to their neighbors. But when you attacked our homes and killed our families, all of those peaceful researchers and miners became very interested in helping the war effort. Elena walked to the great windows of the meeting hall and looked out at the stars. For 3 years, you've been fighting what you thought was a small, desperate species, with limited resources and no strategic intelligence. You've been wondering why you keep losing. She turned back to face the assembled aliens. You haven't been fighting a small species, Chancellor. You've been fighting a galactic civilization that has been quietly growing for centuries. A civilization that has been watching you and learning about you while you had no idea we were there. Elena's expression became very serious. And now, every human in the galaxy knows that the Dominion is willing to attack children in schools and families at wedding ceremonies. Every human in the galaxy has seen the pictures of destroyed homes and burned out cities. Chancellor Zeth Kalar's crystal body was now barely glowing at all. What do you want from us? Elena smiled. But this time her smile was not cold or threatening. It was the smile of someone who had just won a very difficult game. What we want is very simple, Chancellor. We want you to withdraw all Dominion forces from human space. We want you to pay reparations to the families of the people you killed. We want you to promise never to attack human colonies again. She paused. And we want you to release all the alien species that you're currently enslaving. General Vextai made a sound like grinding metal. That is impossible. The Dominion cannot simply release entire species. Our economy depends on. Your economy, Elena interrupted, is about to have much bigger problems to worry about. Elena activated one final image in her holographic display. This image showed Earth's solar system, but it was not the same solar system that the Dominion's intelligence reports had described. Earth was still there, but now it was surrounded by massive space stations, shipyards, and defensive platforms. Hundreds of ships moved between Earth and the other planets in the system. The asteroid belt had been turned into a vast mining and manufacturing complex. You see, Elena said, while you've been fighting our colonies for the past 3 years, Earth has been very busy. We've been building ships. Lots and lots of ships. The image zoomed out to show the space beyond Earth's solar system. Elena could see the aliens staring in horror at what the display revealed. A fleet was coming. Not just a few hundred ships like the Dominion had been fighting. Thousands of ships. More ships than most of the aliens had ever seen in one place. The Earth Defense Fleet left our solar system 6 months ago, Elena said calmly. They should arrive here in about 3 weeks. They're bringing some friends. Elena smiled one last time. Oh, and Chancellor? Earth wanted me to give you a message. They said to tell you that if you hurt any more human families, they're going to show you what happens when you make 230 million humans angry all at the same time. Elena gathered her datapad and walked toward the exit of the meeting hall. Every alien in the room watched her leave, but none of them tried to stop her. At the door, she turned back one last time. The choice is yours, she said. You can withdraw peacefully and we can all try to build a better galaxy together. Or you can keep fighting and learn why humans have survived on a planet full of predators for millions of years. Elena left the meeting hall, and the sound of the door closing behind her echoed through the silence like thunder. The age of the Galactic Dominion was over. The age of human expansion had begun.